Welcome viewers, this is Danny from LEGO Buff Productions, here with a LEGO Star Wars Rogue One set review. Today we have the Rebel U-Wing Fighter, set number 75155, ages 8 to 14, and contains 659 pieces. Feel free to skip ahead to the part of the review you would like to watch. You can click on the annotation on screen if you are on a computer. You can go to the description and click on the timestamp if you are on mobile, or you can continue watching for the full video. The Rebel U-Wing Fighter is just loaded with playability features. I think out of all the Rogue One sets, this has the most playability. So we'll start off with the front here. You can see there are two spring-loaded missiles nicely hidden there. And you can't really see the mechanism or anything, but it's a really cool mechanism in there. All you have to do is on top here, you see these two kind of tiles sticking up. Push the tile down, left missile goes out. Push this tile down, right missile goes out. So it's an easy way to fire the missiles. I really like that feature. It hides kind of the whole mechanism part, so you just see when the missiles fly out. I really like that. You also have a cockpit up here that the top opens pretty nicely. You can fit your pilot in there. I'll take the U-Wing pilot, slip him right in there, close the top. Whoops, knocked him over there. But he fits pretty nicely in there. You can see that. And then underneath, there's kind of like a troop carrier area. So these doors open very similar to the Republic gunship that we got a few years ago. And they open on both sides. And then they close the exact same way, open and close. And then inside here, the only disappointing part is these don't open all the way, so that it does kind of hide a little bit of space. There's about 2 studs wide worth of space back there, so you can fit some more figs back in there. You just won't be able to like get them out through the door. They'd have to walk forward. And then you have these little mini turrets. They're actually just stud shooters, and they just rotate out. So they're in there, and then they can rotate out. So if you have some minifigs in here standing, you can have them firing out at the Imperials. They can be using the turret, just standing there. They can also sit down. And then you have this giant window piece right here, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't open very much. It's not meant to open really, but you could put some minifigs in there. You can see right up into the cockpit right there, so you could put a bunch more minifigs in there. Another playability feature, you can reach down there just a little bit if you feed them through in this way. And then my favorite feature of this set is the movement of the wings. So I'm going to go ahead and close up this troop transport type area on the bottom here. Close these doors up. And to open up the wings, it's very simple. You just put your hand on it, kind of push up against here, and it disconnects. It's a ball and socket joint. You can see there's the ball, there's the socket right there. And it's the exact same thing on this side. You can see there's the socket joint and there's the ball joint right there. And that connects in there. It's the exact same on the other side. And boom, you have a giant U-Wing fighter now. It's huge. This set is just massive like this. So I really like that feature. I'm assuming this is more of the attack pose. Not exactly sure. We'll see in the movie. But I just love that playability feature. It's really cool. If you want to kind of go on the attack, you can easily just open them up pretty quickly like that. Unfortunately, there's no room for an astromech droid to put in up here. But that pretty much does it for the playability of this set. I'm going to rate the playability of this set a 4 out of 5 bricks. I love the opening wings, the opening doors on the troop carrier part on the bottom, the opening cockpit, and the spring-loaded missiles. However, the parts I don't like are where the triggers are for the spring-loaded missiles. They're on the front right here, and I've hit those several times when just moving it about, so I can only imagine playing with it and stuff. Those would accidentally fire out, and you might lose those depending on where you are. Also, it's just a little bit difficult to pick up depending on where you're grabbing it from. From up here, it's just a little bit awkward. From down here, it's kind of weak, and you don't want to break. You don't want to break off those doors, so you got to be careful with that. The U-Wing does a great job of being movie accurate. It has the correct shaping in the front, the correct engine formation on the back, and the correct feature where the wings do extend into that formation. However, there are a few parts that could be changed. First off, in the bottom portion down here, the little troop area, we do see in the movie, in the several shots that we see in the movie of the interior, there is a spot for chairs. Now you can see LEGO tried to imitate that. There's a few kind of brown headrest type things that you can kind of see in there. If If I open up the back one, you might be able to see that just a little bit better. There we go. You can see those headrest type things right there. However, in the movie, we see like 6 rugged looking chairs. They're red in the movie. And again, this might be a thing that LEGO didn't really have access to the exact details of the inside, so they kind of improvised. So they do give you somewhat of a chair thing, but it would have been nice to see some more formal chairs, maybe a little more movie accurate there. We also do get this kind of like turret blaster thing right here, which we do see in the movie, so that was cool that LEGO did include that. Another point that is a little bit different in the movies than the set is the cockpit right here. As you can see, you can obviously only fit one person in there. However, in the movie, there are 2 seats for the pilots there. So I guess the only way for LEGO to do that would have been to use the UCS, like X-Wing cockpit piece, and you might have been able to fit 2 people in there. However, it would have made the set a little bit bigger, so probably would have been the best decision, and probably why LEGO decided not to do that. And the last point is in the movie, or at least in the trailers, we see the landing gear, and there's 2 on each wing. They come down from right here, and there's also one in the back here. So when we see it landing or rising up, taking off, there are landing gear that fold down stuff, but it might have looked a little awkward, especially with these really thin wings. So I can see why LEGO didn't do that. However, that makes it just a little bit inaccurate there. I'm rating the overall accuracy of the set a 4 out of 5 bricks. It would have been nice to see a larger cockpit, maybe some chairs on the troop transporter area, or even some landing gear details. However, the overall shaping of the wings and engine area and just the overall look of the ship is great. This set contains 5 minifigs, the first being Bastan. This is a animal-like creature with printing on the front of his torso and the legs, and that printing all coincides with each other because he has some sort of harness on him that goes from his front torso to the front of his legs. He also has some printing on the back there, and he has a molded headpiece. I've not seen this headpiece before. It is brand new for this minifig. He's also holding a regular blaster. However, it is some sort of off gray color. It is not black and it is not solid gray. It is rather an off kind of dull gray color. Next up is a Rebel Trooper minifig. He has unique printing on the front of his torso and the generic Rebel Trooper printing on his legs. He also has some printing on the back of his torso. He has the same kind of blaster as Bastan, a regular blaster with a sort of dull gray color on it. He has a serious looking face with a new mold for a Rebel helmet with a new logo printed on that side there. And again, this is a new mold. I have not seen this one before, and I really like it. Next up is the U-Wing pilot. He is in a dark navy blue color. He has printing on the front of his torso as well as the front of his legs. His hands are a dark tan color. He also has printing on the back of his torso, and he's holding a small blaster pistol. He also has a printed visor on his face with a sort of smile on this side. And on the other side, he seems to be in some sort of trouble. He has a sort of checkerboard printing on the front part of his helmet with no printing on the back. The only part I don't like is on the back of this helmet. It's kind of cut away right here, and you can see the other side of his face. The next minifig in this set is Cassian Andor, a main character in Rogue One. He has very nice printing on the front of his torso, and it goes about halfway down on the front of his legs. The rest of his legs are sort of a medium flesh color. He also has some printing on the back of his torso. His hands are a light tan or light yellow color, and he has that same color blaster as the other minifigs, that sort of dull gray. He also has a very scruffy looking beard with a new face print there, and just a generic kind of brown hairpiece. He also has a double-sided face. This side seems to be a little less serious than the first. The final minifig from this set is the main character in Rogue One, Jyn Erso. She's wearing a tunic with a satchel or a pouch at her side there. She also has a kind of silver metallic pistol there. The tunic does wrap all the way around, and she has a rocket launcher in the other hand. After taking away her weapons and accessories, you see she does have a print on the front of her torso, as well as the back, and she does have a very cool helmet with hair built into the mold. It is not a separate piece, it is built in, and you see a headset on the side and a pair of goggles on the top. The other side of her face is a more angry and fierce look, and here's just another look at that head mold with the hair built into the hat. I'm going to rate these minifigs a 5 out of 5 bricks. The printing is phenomenal. I love the new helmet pieces, especially Jen Urso's with the hair and the headset coming down. We get that awesome new head mold for Bastan, and the pilot also looks great. Not to mention, these weapons are pretty unique, especially in those colors. The overall value of this set is actually pretty decent. As an $80 set, it comes in at 12.1 cents per piece, about 2 cents above the 10-cent guideline. You do get 5 minifigs with this set, and they're all phenomenal, as well as a fairly large ship, especially when you open up those wings. As this being one of the main fighters in Rogue One, this would be great for mocks to put on landing pads or in battle. Therefore, I'm going to rate it a 4 out of 5 bricks. If the price was just a little bit lower, it would have achieved that 5 out of 5, but price is really the sole reason that it is a 4 out of 5. I hope you enjoyed this set review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my channel for some other awesome LEGO videos, including all of the new Rogue One set reviews. Have a great day.